So here's Zay Frank's most recent video that he just released a couple of days ago. Today's March 1st, 2025. So this video is about the camel, and I'm showing you this particular part because it's another quote-unquote coincidence that's very creepy. At least it's very creepy to myself. So I will play this part of the video, this small clip, and then I will stop it, and then I will continue to comment and explain to you why it's very creepy. Okay, so.
To judge the camel's looks, but if the females think that this makes the males more attractive, well, I guess you start wondering what it is they're looking for. No, I know he can be a dick, but it looked like he'd thrown up a whole cow liver. It was so hot. It was like a balloon made out of a placenta. Yeah.
All right. So, now I've been mentioning in my videos for a while now. I've been pointing out different things that Zay Frank has mentioned, little hints that he has dropped in his videos here and there that have suggested to me over the last few years that he is spying on me somehow, keeping tabs on me. I don't know if he is, if he has people in the area that he has spy on me, because I do think he's a member of a secret society sort of network of people that engage in child trafficking. So I don't know if he's called in some favors, or he could have just had somebody hack into maybe my bank card records or something along those lines to see what I'm buying at the store. And or, I don't live in a place that has the best security. I don't think it would be that hard for people who are really of a mind to do it to just come here when they know that I am going to be gone for a few hours and let themselves in. I've seen people shimmy open doors like the one I have, with cards and stuff, and let themselves in and just maybe put little secret cameras around that I wouldn't notice, right? Again, if they were really of a mind to, they probably could. Because, again, he just drops all these hints in his videos for a while now, and I've been pointing them out here and there as I go along. I haven't pointed all of them out, but some of the more glaring ones. So in this one, he mentions the cow liver. He says that the camel's tongue looks like a cow's liver. Now, keep in mind, guys, he could have likened the camel's tongue to any number of other things. In fact, he does. He says it looks like a balloon filled with placenta. But there were all kinds of other things he could have likened it to. If he'd sat down maybe for 5 to 10 minutes and really thought about it, I'm sure he could have come up with at least 5 to 10 other ideas of what he could have said the camel's tongue looks like. He didn't have to liken it to cow's liver. Now, anybody who's been paying attention to me, or possibly he could even be somehow have access to my phone records, like my texting back and forth, or over maybe tapping and listening to my conversations, because I've been texting with my mom and talking to my mom about things that I've been eating recently and telling her pretty regularly, like, I'm still eating liver. So that's the point, guys. For the last over 2 months now, since roughly mid-December 2024, and it is now March 1st, 2025, I have almost exclusively been eating cow liver, beef liver, as my meat, as my protein. I've just been on a kick where I'm been craving it. I do that. Sometimes I get on these little, these little craving cycles where I crave this one food a lot and I will eat a good amount of it. So, and beef liver is nice and cheap. I know it gets a bad rap. For some reason, people don't like liver, but I like the texture of it. I love the flavor of it. Or I'd say I love the texture of it. I like the flavor of it. It's nice and soft. It's not too chewy and gamey like kidneys are. Beef kidneys, you have to cook for a while to break down the sinew and all that. But anyway, yeah. So, and even to show you guys right now, so I'll show you. Beans, salad. Oh, look. sliced beef liver. I'm about to prepare some beef liver. And so these little packages of beef liver that come out to usually be about like maybe a pound and a half. See, it's only like $3 and change for this. And this is a good amount of liver. You know, this is at least like maybe 2 to 3 days worth of liver. Although I've eaten 1 pack of these in like a day. So yeah, a lot of beef liver has been in my life for the last 2 months. Roughly a little bit more than 2 months. And again, he could have likened the camel's tongue to any number of other things. He did not have to drop the hint of beef liver or cow liver, did he? So that's Ze Frank. In my opinion, that's Ze Frank's way of saying, I'm still keeping tabs on you. We're watching you. We're keeping tabs on you. We know what you eat. We know your routine. We know where you shop. We know when you go to bed. We know what you brush your teeth with, and so on and so forth. Like, that's his way of trying to intimidate me. Because again, guys, I am accusing Ze Frank, Hosea Jan Frank, the guy who makes these videos, of being a member of a cult network that I believe engages in, they practice incest and child abuse and child trafficking and pimping their own children out to other members of the cult, because that fosters a sense of solidarity, unity, loyalty, when it's like, if I get in trouble, you get in trouble type of thing. And so they've been trying to intimidate me for a few years now. And one way that they do that is Ze Frank drops hints in his videos that they are keeping an eye on me. Things that it's just like, I'm sorry, that's too much of a coincidence, right? Another example would be how back in this last spring, roughly end of last spring, beginning of the summer, he posted a video about possums. And it just so happened that just like right before, like the day before or something, the day before he posted a video about possums, I found a dead possum right outside my door. And it looked like it just like laid down and died there. Or it had been killed somehow. It had died and somebody placed it there. I've never seen a possum just laying out dead like that, just out in the open. In fact, that's not normal for an animal. Most animals, when they sense their time is near, they find a place that's hidden away and a bit more safe. It's an instinct for them so that they don't get preyed upon by predators when they're sickly and dying. When they're in the throes of death, they can't really fight off a predator that might come along and decide to start chewing on them, while they're dying. So the instinct for most animals is to find a safe, dark, like tucked away place. Have you ever heard of, a lot of you who've had pets would have experienced this at some point. Maybe you had a dog that a lot of times the dog would, maybe would find a little closet or go under the porch of the house or something. And that's like, they would find an isolated place to go die when they realized their time was coming to an end. That's just an instinct. That's just a natural instinct that most animals have. Again, it just comes from if they just stay out in the open while they're dying, it's too easy for a predator to come along and cause them even more pain and suffering than whatever they might be going through while they're in the process of death. So the fact that this possum was just, so I'll show you. So there it is. True facts, not dead opossums and their weird defenses. I'll put it at the tippy top there. 9 months ago, he put it out. So the fact that this possum just showed up dead, looked like it had just been placed there dead right outside my door, and it was like a day, maybe 2 days before he released the possum video. Again, another quote-unquote coincidence that is creepy. And to be honest, it's not really that. It creeped me out at first when I started noticing these coincidences. It's just starting to become like annoying. Like you're just a little boy like ringing the doorbell and running away. You know, Zay? That's what you are. Going, woo, maybe she'll think it's a spooky ghost. It's like, no, it's just an asshole. And his little asshole friends. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to point this out to you guys that Zay Frank dropped another hint to try and intimidate me and tell me like, oh, I'm paying attention, I'm watching what you eat. I know where you live. Like that was probably the possum things. Like, we know where you live. We put a possum right outside your door, a dead one, and then we put out a video about possums. And now we're making a video about camels and mentioning beef liver, and it's like, that's pretty much what you've exclusively been eating. That's almost all I've been eating. I think maybe once or twice I grabbed like some fast food while I was out because I was busy, but like all I've been cooking for myself meat-wise at home has been beef liver for 2 months, over 2 months. I just got myself some salmon. I haven't cooked it or eaten it yet, but like I've just been starting to crave some salmon again. But yeah, that's not a coincidence, guys, because again, he could have likened the camel tongue to any number of other things. All right. Anyway. All right. And also, Zay, another thing I wanted to mention, another reason why I just, after everything that's transpired, you will never touch me and I will never respect you, is like, if you had been man enough to come and like, because you knew that I knew about you. You knew I had figured out you were part of a cult back when I was living in Franklinville, New Jersey, right? And I still had my cat Andromeda. If you had been man enough to come and explain yourself to me back then, because Maxwell, certainly, when I contacted Maxwell, I sent him the PDF file with your name on the list of suspects, and you were like the top of the list because you were the first person that I noticed doing what you were doing. So Maxwell, and then for sure Maxwell told you about me because, yeah, he just did. All those people going to my website immediately after I talked to him, like, that's not a coincidence. He told you about me. So you knew about me back in 2021 at least, when I still was in Franklinville, New Jersey. And if you had been man enough, instead of being a pathetic little boy, to show up at my door and give me explanations, at the very least tell me to just shut up or something, I wouldn't have gone on a wild goose chase. I probably wouldn't have gone across the country to, like, a lot of the reason why I left Franklinville, I didn't want to leave, but like I was freaked out by the Goldmans who just showed up out of the blue, moved into the house down the street from me, and like Nicole started following me down the street like a little puppy dog, just immediately tried to strike up a friendship with me, and little things, hints that they dropped too. Like Todd, her husband, saying that he works for a company based out of Cohen, New York. I'd never heard of Cohen, New York before I found out that Michael Maxwell had a studio there, after I started to realize Michael Maxwell is a member of your little cult network. So this is how they do, guys. They drop these little hints here and there, like... So I started to get freaked out by the Goldmans who moved down the street from me, like right a month after I contacted Maxwell, and I realized Maxwell's a part of this. So that was one of the reasons why I left. And in the process of all that nonsense, I lost my cat, right? I lost Andromeda. That didn't have to happen. I could still have my cat. I could still have Andromeda. Perseus could still have his sister. If he hadn't been a little pussy boy, right? Your cowardice has led to me suffering so much that it's like, what makes you think I ever want to have anything to do with you in any capacity other than getting you caught and thrown into prison? Or hopefully, maybe, even convincing you to grow the fuck up. Mature up, man up, put on your big boy pants, go down to the police station and turn yourself in. Loser.